Inspector General of Police Usman Baba has urged police officers to pray for their salaries to be paid at the end of the month. Why? While delivering a lecture at the force headquarters in Abuja on Thursday, Baba suggested that prayers by police officers may fast-track the implementation of the new salary structure by March ending. He also informed members that the new salary may be paid at the end of this month. Everyone should exercise patience and pray, he was quoted as saying by People's Gazette. This comes amid reports of a planned protest and strike by junior officers of the force scheduled for March 26th, although the acting force public relations officer Muyiwa Adejobi had debunked the report, describing it as fake news. There are strong indications that the junior officers would embark on strike on the said dates. The officers listed unpaid emoluments, outdated weapons, poor working conditions among other reasons for the planned protest. In a desperately veiled attempt to placate the disgruntled officers and quell strike agitations, IGP offered to waive tax for all 7 officers effective April 2022. The Inspector General of Police, in his magnanimity, has also ensured that all 7 personnel be exempted from the payment of tax with effect from April 2022. Reads the outcome of Baba's lecture. Similarly, the IGP assured officers he was working tirelessly to ensure that both serving and retired members of the force are removed from the contributory pension scheme. Despite these promises, the new salary structure remains a huge probability, with the IGP asking officers to pray for its implementation. To implement it is a problem. I could remember when they were talking about the new minimum wage. They thought, I think it was supposed to be paid, or they discussed it in 2018, and then I said, oh, because of the election, as election was coming up in 2019, they were not talking about it. But as soon as this government came on board 2019, they forget it. They didn't implement it. I think maybe few states are the ones even paying this whole thing. Majority of the people, even those who had already agreed that they were going to pay the agreed minimum wage, they went back to 18,000, that minimum wage before the 30,000. Some are even still paying 9,000. I think one state like that, Zamfara, the woman that left there, the former governor, the one that left before Matawale came up on board. I don't know whether Matawale is paying 18,000 or 30,000. This country is not worth suffering for. All the armed officers should resign and go back to their homes. They won't do that. Well, the government, this government promised to surprise all Nigerians. We will surprise all Nigerians, according to what Buhari said in one of his promises. But now, reverse is the case. Buhari is not aware that Nigeria governments are running out of fund. If not, he would have gotten money from his friend, Ukraine president, who needed soldiers, police, and volunteers to fight Russia military. Everything is by prayer in Nigeria. Now, even we have to pray for Baba Umar to commence. Nigeria is broke and currently borrowing money to pay salary. They are even borrowing money to to fund subsidy. Let them protest, and we civilians will arrest them for unlawful protest. When youths were protesting for their salary increase, they shot and killed them. That is good for the policemen. Please obey the last order. Make sure you pray. Tomorrow is Sunday. Please go to church and pray so that the new salary structure will be implemented. You have to pray. Okay? Why don't you give them break so they visit so that they can visit mountains, churches, and mosques to be praying? After working, they still need to pray to get their salaries. That is Nigeria for you. These guys, I don't know whether they listen to themselves. I don't know whether they don't know that other countries are even listening to them. Because they believe that they are sovereign country, because they believe that they are local champions. They don't even have anything to do with any international community. The only thing they want is for them to be giving aid, for them to be borrowing them money. But when you talk of, having that integrity, having that class that other countries should be able to respect you, they don't care. in as much their own salaries are going on. The question is that their own salaries, do they pay or do they pray before getting it? And that is why you see a lot of things happening among the policemen. We talked about the bombing of a, what is it called, Imo State police station. 2 people lost their lives in that. You go and ask, nothing will be done to those families. The ones that are alive, they are not even being catered for. This is another way of telling the police to start sourcing for funds in advance, and their victims are no other than the impoverished citizenry of this nation. Here comes the veto votes for extended and heightened bribery. The POS machines can now be fitted in police stations. God save us all. Salaries now depends on prayer for payment. May God save Nigeria, our country. What are these officers still doing in office when they know they have failed already? For IGP to say this, it shows that every sector in this country is bleeding. Policemen, una oga don say make una go pray. Without prayer, the salary will not be paid. Failed states, our security personnel are ill-treated. So if you have made promise that they are going to be paid, that means you are just deceiving them. You deceive them. You are not going to do anything about it. You know that it's not doable, but you just want to say what they would love to hear. Now it is time for you to fulfill your promises. Problem comes in. The IGB is making fun of God. What God give you power to do, you are asking God to do it. When you think of how these same policemen are used to maltreat civilians, you won't even pity them. Anyway, make them pray well. God see the answer prayers. It is their right to earn their wages and salaries. After work, it doesn't need prayers for them to earn their salaries. So whosoever that is giving them prayers and fasting is not fair, because they don't say, oh, police, oh, you just have to, policeman, you have to pray for you to go and embark on any operation. You have to pray, or you have to come to office, you need to pray. Whether God will tell you to answer your prayer, whether you need to go to the hospital or to go to the station or not. But when it comes to paying their salaries, it's a problem. They should pray that their salaries should be paid by month end. You see these people running the affairs of this country. Now only God will judge you now. A laborer deserves his wages. It's only in Nigeria. It's only in this country. You work like a horse. Also pray for your entitlement to be given to you. Everything now suffer head. Teach me how to pray, sir. They should pray. These leaders are playing with this country and the people. Now beating will stop this nonsense. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this. Policemen, you have to pray very well.